evening, ladies and gentlemen in St. Kitts and Nevis. Good evening to you in the Leeward Islands. Good evening to the OCS. And good evening to you, the wider Caribbean. And as we step out of the Caribbean, we say good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are in the universe, your little neck of the woods. Welcome to another edition of On the Ball here at WINNFM 98.9. I'm your host, Troy Biff Mills, and it's good to be back here again. My time flies. Jamster, good evening to you. Jamster, my producer. It comes like it's just yesterday or day before yesterday I was here, but hey, it's another whole week that has come and gone. Would you believe that? Could you believe that? Time flies. And, oh boy, we're already halfway in the year. Another few weeks, half the year would have expired, and we're staring on the face of Sugar Mass, Carnival Sugar Mass 53. Could you imagine that, boy? I remember, I was on a different radio station on the 1st of January, and I said, boy, half the year nearly done. And people calling me, abusing me, boy, Biff, what stupidness you talking, boy? The year just started, one day ain't gone yet. But I say, yes. By the time we turn around twice, 2 mornings, half the year gonna be gone. And that is what is happening because music festival is coming up. And I'm not going to tell you about the problem Jamster have carrying the 2 or the 3 ladies, how he going to get a workout and things like that. That's if you want me to help him, I could help him, eh? He buy the ticket for me and I'll carry 1 or 2 ladies for him and things like that. And when he say he going to the bathroom, he pop over by me and I go to the bathroom. So give him a 5 minutes to chat. Hey, life is about having fun, but it's another edition of On the Ball here at WINNFM 98.9. And we say happy birthday to those of you who are celebrating birthday today. We're hoping that you enjoy it and you have a wonderful time. And those persons who are celebrating an anniversary, we say happy anniversary to you. Hope you're having a wonderful time, be it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, how many years you are celebrating. And of course, on the not so positive side, those persons who are going through a period of bereavement, our condolences to you on behalf of my family and myself, WINNFM, and the board of directors. And we're asking you to be strong and find comfort in the many, many fun memories you'll share. And speaking about condolences, I'm remembering the family of the late Lester Blackett in Nevis. And if my information is correct, he will be laid to rest on Sunday up in Nevis. And I'm encouraging all of us from St. Kitts and Nevis who've been involved in the sporting arena to pop on over and show our respects. I will be going God's spear, and I'm hoping that a lot of you would be able to join me as well. Hey, I have to start the program. This is not how I was planning to start the program, but I was going to do it later, but old people got a saying, don't put off for tomorrow what you could do now or do today. Something to that effect. So let me jam this technology. It's sticking. Not jams to the problem is not yours. The problem is my phone. It's taking a year and a half to come up.
Shadow, tell them no, brother. I am not a bad boy, yeah, but I cannot help it. No.
Put it out and put it back in again, Jamster. Over by you.
Shadow, tell them no, brother. I am not a bad boy, yeah, but I cannot help it. No. Tell them again. I said I can't help it. Green line.
The batting hard end. Okay, hearing it, dear John.
Yeah, when you let the battle, you lose the war.
Not hearing it by you.
Every time, have a go now. Here come the West Indies. Bang, here come the West Indies. I tell you now, the rude boy.
Plan B, Jamster boy. We got to go to a plan B. Let us try this one. Have that. Jamster making me feel like a beautiful lady like this can hear that, Jamster. Jamster boy. Anyway, we're going to work on that. Let's get to the matter. Good news, more good news, and excellent news. And hey, we were going to talk about that, but we weren't going to talk about it this way. However, we are going to speak about it now. Kyle Louis, congratulations. He has made the West Indies team touring England, and tell the whole world, Troy Biff Mills says so. And if you don't believe me, that's all right, nothing wrong with that. Go to the Cricket West Indies' website and you're going to see it. It was released today. West Indies Tour of England Test Squad. Craig Brathwaite, captain. Alzari Joseph, vice captain. Alec Athenaze, Joshua De Silva, Jason Holder, Kavem Hodge, Tevin Imlak, Shama Joseph, Mikael Louis. Did I say Mikael Louis? Did you hear me say? Yes, I said Mikael Louis because he's here. Zachary McCaskey, Kirk McKenzie, Gudakesh Moti, Kema Roach, Jaden Seals, Kevin Sinclair. Just in case you missed some of the names, just in case I was speaking too fast for you, just in case you didn't hear me clearly, I will repeat. West Indies Tour of England Test Squad. Craig Brathwaite, captain. 1. 2. Alzari Joseph, vice captain. 3. Alec Athenaze. 4. Joshua De Silva, the wicketkeeper. 5. Jason Holder. We're going to come back to Jason. 6. Kavem Hodge. 7. Tevin Imlak. 8. Shama Joseph. 9. Mikael Louis. 9. Mikael Louis. Did I say 9 Mikael Louis? Yes, I did, but just in case you want to make sure, 9 Mikael Louis. 10 Zachary McCaskey. 11 Kirk McKenzie. 12 Gudakesh Moti. 13 Kema Roach. Jaden Seals, number 14. 15 Kevin Sinclair. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, that is the West Indies' test squad to go to England in the next few weeks. And our man, Mikael Louis, who we have been wondering and waiting and hoping and praying, and the Lord has answered our prayers. Well, he made sure it was done, Mikael. 682 runs in the year, 3 centuries, 4 half centuries. I told people if West Indies did not pick him this year, we should stop play cricket in St. Kitts from the Prime Minister, the Minister of Sport come down. We stop play cricket. We just go pitch and we play hoop or rounders or something. But that is not the case because Mikael Louis, the first Kittian to play for the West Indies, not the first Kittian to play test match, because we had a Kittian playing for England some time back. But Mikael Louis, the first Kittian to play for West Indies. Now, would you believe I got a lot of calls? I'm not talking about this. A couple of weeks back. Why, Biff? When Mikael born, boy? He born in St. Kitts? He really from St. Kitts? Or he come St. Kitts when he's small? Well, I know Mikael to born in St. Kitts. But I also know it is our duty as journalists, sportscasters, what have you, to give you the correct news. So I went and I dig. His father is from Dominica. And something about Sugar City woman, eh? The sweet. Jamster laughing, boy. Look like Jamster know what I'm talking about. He fell in love with a lady, I understand, from Newtown. I can't remember his name. And she is Mikael's mother from Newtown. And I understand all 3 were born in St. Kitts. Well, I'm concerned about Mikael. I mean, you get your passport through marriage and descendants and citizen by investment, but he is a born and bred Kittitian. According to old people, he navel string berry here. And the whole of St. Kitts and Nevis behind Mikael Louis 100%. And I'll tell you this, I bought a bottle of Hennessy and a bottle of Johnny Black. I didn't know which one Jams to drink. I bought a bottle of Campari and orange juice just in case he drink that too. So me and he gonna have a party after the program finish. So we have Campari, Jamster. We have, I hope you drink that. Don't tell me to just drink malt and things by Jamster. Eh? Oh, Jamster shake his head. Boy, yes. The Johnny Black sounding good. So we're going to listen to the Johnny Black. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is official. Mikael Louis has been selected to the West Indies team. And he will be going. We say congratulations to him. And maybe there might be an opening back door or something, you know. But we're going to tell you more later on. But coming in a bit, we're going to have the St. Kitts and Nevis Amateur Basketball Association. They are going to be telling us about the Premier Division and the A Division because they are just at about playoff stages. And, I mean, I'm not a boasting fella, you know, and I don't like to sound boasting. But I would like to repeat two facts. One, in the A Division, E and K Minimart, I think it was, they were leading as the number one seed. Did I say they're from SP where the best be? Sandy Point? Okay. I don't have to tell you that, you know that. And two, the Premier Division. Why no? Sandy Point wasn't in, we were in first for a long time, but we're in second now. So the Sandy Point team, SP where the best be, in number 2 going into the playoffs. And boy, it was a torrid time for the defending champions. Tough nuts. But Boxy's going to be in him and his team. They're going to be telling us about that. But boy, let us, and also, we have in about 7:45, we're going to be having some guests with us, Mr. Samuel Spencer of Antigua. He's the chairman of the Leeward Island Cricket Board's selection committee. So he's going to be here live and direct in studio. As a matter of fact, he's already here with me. And joining him in studio is Mr. Eustace Maynard, commentator, cricket analyst. And joining us via Zoom is Mr. Frankie Claxton out of Nevis, sports personality. Frankie is one of them persons I've been hearing about since I small. He commentate, he teach, he coach. I don't know if there's anything that he ain't do. But he's living in Anguilla now. But we're going to be having him there. And he is from Nevis. He taught a lot of years in Nevis, and I think he retired and went to Anguilla. I believe he has some Anguilla heritage. We tried to get a few other persons from St. Kitts, from throughout, to be on the program, to have a variety of persons speaking about it, but we didn't get through. So we're going to touch a bit on the Leeward Islands under-19 team to be taking part in the West Indies under-19 tournament and next month in St. Vincent. We're going to touch about, speak maybe a few minutes, the female team that was announced to travel to Sri Lanka, I think it is. We're going to touch about the regional team and selection and Louis and perhaps who should have been in and out for the test squad. And of course, we cannot not touch the World Cup. Jamster should give me some blows if we don't touch the Cricket World Cup. And why we only into what? Game, this is, they what, Jamster, they 4. And we've had so long about 6 games, 5-6 games. And so many interesting things happening. We already had a super over. One team make 109, I start watching. And then I say, well, this team gonna knock it off easy. So I went to a meeting. By the time I come back, gone to look for the final score. I hear super over. So I thought I had the wrong channel. But we're going to talk a bit about that. But before Boxy gets here, let us talk about a bit of football in the St. Kitts and Nevis Football Association's first division. What is happening? The Premier League that has been put on hold for a little bit because remember, our national senior team, we're down in Costa Rica, and we're playing Costa Rica come the 6th in a World Cup qualifier. And that's going to be interesting. And then they're going to be back here to be playing shortly after that. But we are wishing Deco and all the other guys, we're wishing you all the best and hope that you come back very, very successful indeed. And a lot of conversations have been happening with that, because one or two persons who we believe should have been in there, not in there, like Keith Kiddy, for example, leader, he's not in, and persons are wondering how come, why not, etc., etc. So we are going to wait and see. But looking at the first division on Thursday, 30th May, KFC Trinity Challengers, why they get trouncing from Trans Global Engineering Bay Eagles. 8-1. Yes, you heard me. 8-1. And the thing about it, Challengers start off big and bad and boasting in the second minute. Malik Fergus put a bulge in the old onion bag. Trinity Challengers up 1-0. But then, 19 minutes later, Joshua Bradshaw, he had the first of his brace in the 21st minute. 1-1. Alfonso Murray, 33rd minute, 2-1 Date. Lachelle Paxson, 3-1 Date, the 44th minute via a penalty kick. That's 4-1 Sean Libert in the 45 plus 6 minute. Gone into halftime. 4-1. 3 unanswered goals. Trinity Challengers both the forward, they're scoring early. Adrian Tobias, Challengers, 49th minute, just as we come on. Well, somebody must be telling him that they changed the ends. So first half you kick east, second half you kick west. So he decided to score goal. Since he can't play up there, he going to score back here. And he did score, but it was an own goal in the 49th minute. So that's 5-1 Old Road. Date 6-1, Ronaldo Martin in the 66th minute, the first of his goal, his brace. Then Joshua Bradshaw, the second of his 2 goals in the 83rd minute. Ronaldo Matthew, the second of his 2 goals in the 80th minute. That's it. KFC Trinity Challengers gone in 8-1 to Trans Global Bay Eagles. But hold on, boy. Why come like this was a goal fest? Rivers of Living Waters 1. Jones Group Sandy Point 10. Yes, you heard me right. 10. 2 handful. 5 on the left, 5 on the right. And the scoring we have, Dequan Joseph, he had a hat-trick. The 3rd, 21st, 25th minute. Deshaun Collins, he also had a hat-trick. 23rd, 5th, 47th, 70th minute. Elzander Warner, 67th. Valen Rogers, 75th. Chesek Marsham, 79th. Darren Pope, 84th minute. Those are the 10 goals for Jones Group Sandy Point. And the lone scorer for Rivers of Living Water, Lama Irish, on the score of halftime, 45. And then, why this first division interesting, Security Forces just squeezing out past Mantab 3-2. And we had Security Forces, Shamar Douglas, 7th minute. Kareem Burrell, 8th minute. Mary Paxson, Security Forces, own goal. These people like to score own goals, in the 31st minute. So it is 3-1. Security Forces up. Shane Clark, 51st minute for Security Forces. Kenshawn Alford pulling back another consolation goal in the 75th minute, but they couldn't do enough to find the equalizer. So Security Forces walking away 3-2 winners over Mantab. If we look at the points table now, one team play 11, some play 12, some play 13. And we could understand that because remember, we have been playing these games since there has been no Premier Division. Rivers of Living Water, 2 points from 2 drawn games, 10 losses. They're number 10. KFC Trinity Challengers United, 13 matches played, winning 1, drawing 1, losing 11, 4 points. They have a goal difference of minus 54. They scored 11, gave up 65. Wow, that's a lot of goals scoring on them by 65. So they have a goal difference of minus 4. And 607 Construction Lodge Patriots in 8th, also on 4 points. 1 victory, 1 drawn game, 9 losses. But they have a goal difference of minus 27, scoring 11, giving up only 38. Molyneux, 7th. And Molyneux, if I had to pick a team for the team of the first division, I think I'll pick Molineux. And I'm saying that without any water in my mouth. Molineux over the years, they lose half well, I wouldn't say half really. They lose a lot of games by default. Can't find 7 players. 6 coming, 5.5. So, but this year, they've been in 6. They dropped down to 7 now. So something I keep over in Molineux, you know. Something I keep. I don't know what Coach Kevin doing. But it's working. Molineux is 7th. And this is one of 2 teams that have not been to the Premiership as yet. All the other 8 teams down here, except Molineux and Construction Lodge, have not been to the Premiership. So, well, I believe Lodge have been to. I am thinking yes, but I was convinced it's no. So I'll have to do some research to find out. Molineux winning 12, playing 12, winning 4. That's a lot of games but they win by. Normally they don't win that in the last 5 years, but doing well. Draw 2, losing 6. They have 14 points. Connery Fireballs International in 6, playing 12, winning 5, drawing 1, losing 6, 16 points. 5th place, Fast Cash Saddlers United. Remember they gave somebody must be 16-0 the other day. Playing 12, winning 7, drawing 2, losing 3. They're on 17 points. Mantab in 4th, playing 13, drawing 8, winning 8, drawing 2, losing 3. They have scored 40 goals, which is decent, and they're on 20 points. They've given up 16. Trans Global Engineering Debe Eagles. Well, boy, they had a record. It looked like that record gone in. They were the only team not to have lost a match in the 1st division, but that is history. That is no more. They're in 3rd, played 13. They've won 7, drawn 5, lost 1. They have 26 points. 3 points ahead, Jones Group, Sandy Point in 2nd place, playing 13, winning 9, drawing 2, losing 2. They have 29 points. And 3 points ahead of them, Security Forces United in 1st position, playing 13, winning 10, drawing 2, losing 1, 32 points. And remember, Security Forces and Jones Group, Sandy Point, those 2 teams were relegated from the Premiership last year. And the way it's looking, I know, I don't make some predictions, but I can't make no predictions with this. I could tell you they told them in 1st and 2nd place. So if promotion had to happen today or tomorrow, those 2 teams will go up. And it's possible they may go up, but close on the heels, Trans Global DB Engineering, 3 points off the pace. Mantab, you can't keep your eye off of Mantab and Saddlers. Mantab like 9 points off the pace. Saddlers like a lot of points off the pace, but football, the ball is round, the pitch is rectangular. Anything can happen. So we have to wait and see what is going to happen here. They still have something like 5 matches to go for some of the clubs. Some got 6, some got 7. There are 10 teams playing 2 rounds of matches, so everybody playing 18 matches. So a lot to play for. And, of course, the 3rd place in the 1st division, they're going to have a playoff with the 8th place in the Premier Division. And the winner stays up or goes up, and the loser stays down or goes down. And every week I'll come and lament, I do not believe in that system at all. I believe if you want 3 go up, first 1 to 3 go up. You want 3 go down, 8, 9, 10 come down. Don't tell me the Premier Division going to play off the 1st division for a championship to see who go up. And I could vividly remember last year, Spurs it was, first time in the Premier Division, they lose by default. I didn't hear that for like about 70, 80 years now. Spurs lost a match in the Premier Division by default. And the flip side, Mantab, they came 3rd, but they didn't lose a match. They had 1 or 2 drawn games. Then they played a whole season without losing a match. And Spurs gave Mantab 4-1 in the playoff game. The only game Mantab lost. So Spurs had 1 good match. They won it. Mantab had 1 bad match. They lose it. And they stayed down. And guess what? I can't even say Spurs flirting with relegation. Spurs hardcore in the relegation zone. But still early days. Well, I can't say still early days. Still have a few more matches. So we are going to see how that works out. In terms of the marksmen for the various teams, oh boy, this is a lot of people here. But let's use the going on to 3 goals. Tandre Rouse, 3 goals. And Xander Wada, I know he's from Sandy Point, 3 goals. DeAndre Eddy, 3. Dequan Joseph, 3. Kamari Mulcahy, 5. Shaquan Pemberton, 5. I think Shaquan Pemberton is from Sandy Point. Jalen Burt, 6. He's also from Jones Group Sandy Point. And Deshaun Collins, 6. They are the top goal scorers in the first division. And guys, 5 matches. It's a bit of matches to play, but boy, anything could happen over 5 matches. And if we look at what is happening, today is the 4th. Right now, Trans Global Engineering Day, the Eagles, they are engaged in Mantab. That game started at 7 p.m., so they're now into the 33rd minute, give or take about 3 seconds. And that is happening at the National Bank Technical Center. So that after that match, we're going to have to twist and turn and see how things work out. And we are going to step away for a second. Stick and stay. Don't go away. And we remind you, you can call in 466-0989 and ask any question at any time and share your view on any point. Call in, say congratulations to Louis for making the team. And hey, stick and stay. Don't go away. We will be back in a second or two. Good night, good night. We are back. Welcome to another edition. But hold on, Jamster. Even before I settle in, let us take this call. Oh, caller, could you please call back? Someone was trying to get in. Oh, caller is back. Let us try go here. Good evening, caller. Welcome to On the Ball here at WINNFM 98.9.
Good night, Troy. Good evening, Troy.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
I am good. And then I think you said Eustace is in the... And all who guests you have in there? Good evening to everybody.
Okay, well, Boxy is here basketball. He ain't nothing about football.
Eh?
He ain't nothing about cricket. But he's here.
Okay.
That's Boxy the basketball. But he's going to come on just now.
Let me try me punch.
Yes, sir.
I want to say thanks to the individual who killed the SIC in the West Indies cricket selector. SIC, you know what I mean?
No, I don't think so.
Small Island Syndrome.
Oh, okay, but I like that. SIC.
Yeah, because too long, Kitty Sean's been standing outside the door, knocking on the door to get in, and they slammed the door in Kitty Sean's face. So I want to say congratulations to Louis. And right there now by the door, and they can't shut in the door in the face to get in on West Indies. So whether under 19, 19, or over 19, it's about time. And all of us should give our support to Louis. Because it's about time and we feel great. And the next thing, I want you to push boxing in St. Kitts, boxing in the ring. Because, you know, that is the only individual sport that a participant can make a payday once for his lifetime. If he eat right, do the things that are right to put him up to world standard. And he get a what you call fight. That one night could make him rich for his life. And that's rich, he don't have to go work for nobody else. Boxing. And look how we got a lot of youngsters up and down the plate doing a lot of negative things. Let them put their energy right there. Go in and train. Do something, because that's a future payment for them. Rather than doing other things negative to the country and to themselves and other people. So please push boxing for us, man. Please.
I promise you we'll do that. We'll do that, sir.
Eh?
I promise we'll push boxing.
Yeah. Hunks is a good example for them to follow. And Hunks never get the push that he's supposed to get. And like other people in other sports, they never get it. So again, the biggest congratulations to Louis. Coming from me. And I wish him all the best.
All
and
right.
I hope that they don't throw him out if he just make one little small runs, because he's from Small Island.
I'm with you, my boy. Appreciate that. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, man.
All right. Have a good night.
I heard about your program long time. But over here in the Northeast, you know, we couldn't catch WINNFM for a couple of months.
Yes, I know that was sorted out because I was speaking to Montezuma today. And he told me that matter has been dealt with, so he's live and lively now.
That's where you could hear me now?
Yes, sir. When he told me that, you were the first person came to mind because we had the discussion before.
Yes.
But I couldn't, I believe I have your number. I am supposed to have your number, but I couldn't put my hand on it.
Well, my number is what? What you call it? CN or P?
All right, Mr.
Yes, man, okay.
Okay, we appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Thank you for calling.
All the best, yeah.
And that was Culture, a very ardent man when it comes to the radio and contributing. And a lot of us may not know he's one of the top cyclists we have had in the Federation. And we go live and direct. And we have another call here, Jamster. Let us take this call. Good evening, caller. Welcome to On the Ball here at WINNFM 98.9.
Mr. Troy Biff Mills.
Yes, sir.
Hallelujah, my soul is satisfied.
Indeed, sir, I could imagine.
You ask why?
Why?
My squad, the West Indies tour of England.
Yeah.
Can you tell me?
Oh, you want to hear the squad again?
No. Yeah,
oh, I did tell you. I did say what the squad was, yes.
Yeah, but you know, I've been advocating and announcing my squad and my first 11.
Remind us of your squad and your first 11.
My squad to England is the captain Craig Brathwaite, Michael Louis, and who else?
And the rest.
And the rest.
Uh-huh.
And the first test would be, listen carefully, Michael Louis and the rest. Tonight I want to shout from across the Narrows and say congratulations to the first ever petition, Mr. Michael Louis. And that's why I say my soul is satisfied.
Thanks a lot, Carlo.
Could you imagine until today, I listened to one of those sports persons on the YouTube channels that they have around the place. And he's still talking about, there's no Chandapal. Could you imagine that? Chandapal dropped himself, but he's still saying there is a Chandapal, like as if they did Chandapal as a justice and injustice. Could you imagine that? I don't know if you got any response from Mr. Louis. I don't know if you got any response from the Minister of Sports. Don't know if you got any response from the Cricket Association. But if not, I think they should be forthcoming tonight.
I actually have a release from the Minister of Sports, and that is something I would have read a little later. I was going to read a little later, but now is a good time to mention it. And we thank you for calling, and we're glad that you're at ease, caller. So I know you're going to sleep well tonight.
Thank you so very much.
All right. Have a good night, caller, and thank you for calling.
As the sun rises, you know we can take it higher.
And a press release, the Ministry of Sport and the Creative Economy, for immediate release. And Michael Louis selected in West Indies Test Squad. Sports Minister hails achievement. Bastia St. Kitts, June 4th, 2024. That is today. Michael Louis, an exceptional, promising right-handed batsman from St. Kitts, has been selected to the West Indies cricket team. This marks a historic moment as Louis's debut in the upcoming Test series against arch-rivals England will be the first time a player from St. Kitts has made it to the senior West Indies side. St. Kitts and Nevis stands proud with this selection. Louis' selection follows a domineering performance in his maiden West Indies first-class tournament while playing for the Leeward Islands Hurricanes. Over 14 innings, he accumulated 682 runs at an average of 48.71. His impressive run tally includes 3 centuries, with 2 of those coming in a single match at his home ground, Warner Park, early in the tournament. Additionally, Louis was one of only 3 players to score 4 or more half-centuries, further underscoring his consistency and skill. Michael's achievement not only highlights his remarkable talent, but also marks a significant milestone for his cricket in St. Kitts, inspiring young athletes and demonstrating the potential for future success on the international stage. The entire nation eagerly anticipates his contribution to the West Indies cricket team and celebrates this momentous occasion. I quote, "This is a monumental achievement. It underscores the tenacity, perseverance, and hard work that Michael has been putting in over the years. This is also a blueprint for our young cricketers to follow about how to overcome adversity en route to excellence, end quote, says Minister of Sport, the Honorable Samuel Duggins. He continues, I quote, "This is also an indication that the increased thrust in cricket by my government is yielding fruit," end quote. The minister also hinted at several initiatives in the pipeline aimed at increasing the brand equity of local cricket. While Nevis has had several representatives on the West Indies senior side, this marks the first time there is a representative from the sister island of St. Kitts. Minister Duggins extends his heartfelt congratulations to Michael Louis, celebrating this significant milestone for both the player and the nation. And this is a press release coming from the Minister of Sport et al., the Honorable Samuel Duggins, bigging up Michael Louis after he has been announced as part of the West Indies squad to tour England in a few weeks. Thanks a lot, Minister Duggins, and we are all proud of him, and thanks for recognizing that. Let's go to Studio B now and say good evening to our guest we have there. Good evening, sir. Welcome to On the Ball here, 20FM 98.9.
Good evening, Rachel and all the WINNMedia Family listeners out there. Good evening, Mr. Mills and everybody else in the studio tonight. My name is Sean Boxy Crossley, Assistant Treasurer for the Scanaba Basketball League. Here to talk about the basketball tonight of the upcoming playoff.
Upcoming playoff, that means the regular season finish?
Well, tonight is the last for the regular season. Presently, while I'm here talking, there's a game with Boardwalk coming up against ASC Wolfpack. Farmcare Boardwalk coming up against, and then second game will be St. Paul's Tough Nuts coming up against Sunny Point Falcons. That's Sunny Point Falcons and SL Hasford St. Paul's Tough Nuts. For the first time in some probably about 10, 12 years, St. Paul's is not in the four for the playoff.
What? Hold on, boss. Repeat what you just tell me.
For the first time in about 10, 12 years, St. Paul's Tough Nuts is not in the top four of the playoff. They actually was battling to be regulated, but how we looking like they might stay up.
Who is the defending champion?
The Sunny Point Falcons is the defending champs of the Premier.
Who they played in the final last?
Last year they played St. Paul's Tough Nuts in the finals.
So the Tough Nuts really having a tough time.
Yes.
Maybe those nuts lose out, so they're not as tough as
which is the bottom team which is Nevis at the moment, Youth and Sports out of Nevis. There is the bottom seed. The bottom seed automatically go to the A division, and the winner of the A division automatically go to the Premier. Then the winner up in the bottom, second to last in the Premier, play the second team in the one-up team in the A division to battle to see if the one-up, the second to last would stop, or the team will go up. So
Boxy, you guys come with that thing.
Yeah.
I spent half an hour lamenting that I don't believe in that system. But I was referring from football. Because that is the case with football.
Yeah.
The 8th team play the 3rd team to see who can come up or stay up. I don't believe in it.
So we also have the A division playoff starting this Thursday. We have Sunny Point, ENK Minimart Sunny Point Falcons, who's going to be in. Then we have Old Road Ballhawks. We have to give a round of applause to Old Road coming back on the scene after some years and actually make it in the top 4 to in the playoff. Then we have ECCB Central Bank, who's back. ECCB Bucks, that's the name of the team. They actually, after some 3 years, they wasn't in the league. They came back and they're actually in the top 4. And to fill the 4th spot is Fire and Rescue No Limit basketball team. So that's the top 4 for the A division.
Give us them again. Give them to us again, please.
Is the ENK Minimart Sunny Point Falcons. That's the A division. That's it. And then we have the Fire and Rescue No Limit Ballers. Then we have the Old Road Ballhawks and ECCB Bucks. So that's the top 4 teams for the A division playoff. And then when it comes to the National Bank Premier League, we have Seoul Sunny Point Falcons, premier team. We have ASC Wolfpack. Then we have Keon Lions. And to fill the fourth spot, we have Farm Care Birdwalk. So that's the top 4 for the A and the Premier Division for the playoff.
And who will be playing who when?
How it's a round robin. We have starting this Thursday. We have the ENK Minimart Sunny Point Falcons in the A Division coming up against ECCB Bucks. That's game 1. That's number 1 seed, who is Falcons, and number 4 seed is Bucks. And then we have number 2 seeds, the Fire and Rescue No Limit Ballers, coming up against Old Road Ballhawks, who is the number 3 seed. So that's, and then we move on to Saturday, where we're going to have the 4 teams. Well, we still, after the game tonight, we still have to, the 4 teams are set. But in terms of 3rd and 4th position, it depends on the game with Boardwalk, which is presently playing, and ASC Wolfpack. Between Keon Lions and ASC. I mean, Keon Lions and Farm Care Boardwalk.
So that will determine who is 3 and who is 4.
And who is, yes.
And that will determine 4 play 1 and 3.
Yeah. And
Keon would have come up last year.
yes, Keon was the defending champs of the A Division last year. They are now in the Premier, and you know, they start off slow, but they finished the season strong. They actually was on a 5-game winning streak to the end of the season. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that pushed them way up into the playoff. There was a 5-game winning streak, but the start of the season a little sluggish, but they get it together. I don't know if something was over there during the Green Valley Festival and get them a little spark.
And the Nevis, the Eagles?
Yeah, Eagles was the one-up team last year that came up. And how we look like they will be going back down. They will be there's actually at the bottom seat in the Premier, so it look like they will be heading back down to the A Division.
I was really hoping. I like the fact that they were in the Premier, and I was really hoping that they stay up, because I believe, my humble view, that helps the development of basketball in Nevis.
Well, the good thing about the Nevis team, they also have a U team. They have a U team, they have a junior team, so it's still they still progress. There's still something going on there, but they have a U team. They had a team there who was quite some time in the Premier, long time ago, was Cotton Ground Ballers. But the guys get a little old.
And that's what happened when you don't have any system, continuity system in place.
That's why I always believe that the Premier team should always have a junior team.
Like similarly to the Sandy Point, what
Yes.
they're doing. So man gone, man yeah.
Oh yes, because with Falcons now we actually have we have a team in each division. We go from juniors to A Division and Premier Division. So we have a team in each division.
That's indeed wonderful.
Also ASC Wolfpack does that. They have a junior A and Premier team, and then you also have Ram Hitters who does that.
That is really the good way to go. And when you say these matches, and could you remind us of who is playing what when again?
So this Thursday we have ENK Minimart Sunny Point Falcons coming up against ECCB Bucks.
This is game 1 or game 2?
This is game 1. That's 6:30, and Thursday at Basketball City, 6:30. And then at 8 p.m. we have Fire and Rescue No Limit Ballers coming up again, Old Road Ballhawks. And once again, I want to give Old Road a round of applause for coming back after being out for a couple of years. And they, pushed their way to the playoff, and they're doing well for themselves. And then on Saturday, the Big Boys Rumble, the Premier Division, we have, as I tell you, I won't know who is going to play who as of yet. But the top 4 teams Saturday is what's going to be. You're going to be ASC Wolfpack, you're going to be Seoul Sunny Point Falcons, you're going to be Farm Care Boardwalk, and you're going to be Keon Lions this coming Saturday for the National Bank Premier League.
Boxy, we want to congratulate all these teams on making it to this stage, and we want to congratulate the St. Kitts and Nevis Basketball Association as well for the tremendous job you're doing, President Glenn Jeffers. And we wish all the teams well. May the better team win. And it's really sad to hear that a team that has been in the
defending
the
finals.
finals for the last 10, 12 years, that's a decade, they're not in. But I look at it on the positive side. To me, this is saying something good happening in the basketball. Because if every year you have the same 4 teams going, it is suggesting well, nothing happening, no advancement.
Yeah,
so it is a good thing. Sad to say, some people may not like to hear me say it.
Some team they got to pull up the socks.
Exactly, including the Falcons.
Yeah.
Because the Falcons spent the whole year as the number 1 seed and they had slipped to the number 2, but they back up to number 1.
Yeah,
So the ENK Minimart Sandy Point Falcons, they are the number 1 seed in the Premier Division. And
in the A division.
In the A division. And Sol Sandy Point Falcons, they are the number 1 in the Premier Division. So something also a keep in SP where the best be. So congratulations and the best wishes and all the best again. Anything you want to say before you pop
and
up?
Mr. Mills, you say I don't know about football. Remember I push you out of goalkeeping in Sandy Point, eh? Remember that? Remember I used to go.
No, man, I retired.
remember I came and I pushed you out to take your spot. So remember that.
All right, my boy. So
yes, sir. I just want to say everybody to come on out on Thursday as we start the A division, and on Saturday we start the Premier Division. You know, it's going to be packed action, some basketball action, so come on out and support the National Banks Carnival Premier League and the A Division League. So come on out looking for your support.
Thanks a lot, sir, and the best wishes to all the teams, and may the better team win.
Okay. Good night, Wagerland. Good night, WINNFM, and everybody in the panel.
You're listening to On The Ball here at WINNFM 98.9. I am Troy Biff Mills. We just had with us live and direct Mr. Sean Boxy Buchanan of the St. Kitts and Nevis Amateur Basketball Association. And they're now, after tonight, they'll be at the end of the regular season and they're getting into the playoffs. And we are going to be keeping you abreast with what is happening. Now, we're going into the hot seat, the cricket. And in case you missed it, Kyle Louis, he is in. And we have with us in the studio 2 gentlemen, and we should have another one on Zoom. We're going to confirm that, and we're going to let them introduce themselves. And we're going to spend just a few minutes on the under 15 team, because there has been an under 15 team, a Leeward Islands under 15 team, under 19 team that has been announced, and we are going to give you that information just now.
Your headphone, okay.
And we are going to be we already have the 2 gentlemen in the studio, and again, 466-0989 is the number to call. And if you're shy and you don't want to go on here, you could give me a WhatsApp call, 668-2. You could send a WhatsApp, 668-2055. And we are just setting up. And while we set up, we have... Well, I'll just start off with the press release from the Minister of Sport Etal, and he has sent us this information live and direct. It's dated today. On his letterhead, Ministry of Sport, the Creative Economy Administration, Port Zante, Bastia, St. Kitts, and for immediate release. For more information, contact sknsports@gov.kn. Mikhail Louis selected to the West Indies Test Squad. Sports Minister hails achievement. Bastia, St. Kitts, June 4th, today, 2024. Mikhail Louis, an exceptionally promising right-handed batsman from St. Kitts, has been selected to the West Indies cricket team. West Indies Test cricket team, that is. This marks a historic moment as Louis's debut in the upcoming Test series against arch rivals England will be the first time a player from St. Kitts has made it to the senior West Indies side. St. Kitts and Nevis stands proud with this selection to the Test side. Louis's selection follows a domineering performance in his maiden West Indies first-class tournament while playing for the Leeward Islands Hurricanes. Over 14 innings, he accumulated 682 runs. That's nearly 700 runs, boy, at an average of 48.71. His impressive run tally included 3 centuries, with 2 of those centuries coming in a single match at his home ground, Warner Park, early in the tournament. Additionally, Louis was one of only 3 players to score 4 or more half-centuries, further underscoring his consistency and skill. Mikhail's achievement not only highlights his remarkable talent, but also marks a significant milestone for cricket in St. Kitts, inspiring young athletes and demonstrating the potential for future success on the international stage. The entire nation eagerly anticipates his contribution to the West Indies Test cricket team and celebrates this momentous occasion. I quote, "This is a monumental achievement. It underscores the tenacity, perseverance, and the hard work that Mikhail has been putting in over the years. This is also a blueprint for our young cricketers to follow about how to overcome adversity en route to excellence," end quote, says Minister of Sport Honorable Samuel Duggins. He continues, I quote, "This is also an indication that the increased thrust in cricket by my government is yielding fruit," end quote. The minister also hinted at several initiatives in the pipeline aimed at increasing the brand equity of local cricket. While Nevis has had several representatives on the West Indies senior side, this marks the first time there is a representative from the sister island of St. Kitts. Minister Duggins extends his heartfelt congratulations to Mikhail Louis, celebrating this significant milestone for both the player and the nation, end quote. And again, this is a press release from the Honorable Minister of Sport and Samuel Duggins, commending Mikhail Louis. As we now go straight to Studio 2 and bring on our guests who we have here. Good evening, gentlemen. Welcome to WINNFM 98.9.
Good evening.
And could you tell the world who you are, please, gentlemen?
I'm Samuel Best Spencer. I'm from Antigua. I'm the chairman of selectors for the Leeward Islands Cricket Board.
Thank you very much, sir.
And to you, Chuck, and to Spencer, and to all the listeners out there in this proud federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, throughout the Leewards and around the rest of the Eastern Caribbean, and wherever you are around the world, logged in, listening to this very important program, discussion, and we are looking forward to discuss so much. We are very proud at this moment as a federation, as a nation, and justice has come to St. Kitts and Nevis. We have been delayed, but we are not denied. And I would have said that I would have had a bit to eat and drink for the day, celebrating for the many hours throughout the day into this evening. And I am very happy to be here to share from my heart how proud I am as a citizen of this country, and knowing what this great, outstanding batsman has done in the tournament, not only as an opening batsman, but as the best batsman in the tournament. And the chairman of selectors for the West Indies team has called it right. We asked for him to do the right thing, and we want to congratulate Desmond Leah Haynes for doing the right thing.
Thank you very much, Eustace, and thank you very much, Sam. Welcome again. both of you are not strangers to Win FM 98.9. Both of you are not strangers to On the Ball. And we thank you very much for availing yourself. I do apologize for giving up a few minutes to basketball, but that was because we gave up a few minutes to some other information. But let's start quickly on the 19 team. The West Indies, the Leeward Islands have the cricket board. They have announced the Leeward Islands on the 19 squad. Joel Andrew, captain, Antigua and Barbuda. Matthew Miller, Antigua and Barbuda. Well, let me do it this way. From Antigua and Barbuda, we have Joel Andrew, captain, Matthew Miller, Mikali Tung, Yannick Watley, Brent Joseph, and Micah Mackenzie. From St. Martin, we have Nathan Edwards, the vice captain. I love this youngster. We also have from St. Martin, Tayanik Hono and Devanan Singh, along with Michael Palmer and Israel Morton. From Nevis, we have Carlton Pluck. From St. Kitts, we have Cordell Cook and Xavier Henry. The reserves, Deantre Juve of St. Kitts, his colleague Caden Francis, and Rajani Dida of Nevis. And gentlemen, before we spend 5 minutes on this, I must say congratulations to all the selectees, and I welcome Mr. Frankie Claxton. Good evening, Frankie. How are you, sir?
Good evening, Troy. I'm very well, giving God thanks.
And that's wonderful. Thank you for taking time out to be with us. On the Ball is the first time you're being here, and I don't bet, Frankie, but I will bet you it's not the last time you're going to be on the Ball. And I do congratulate especially Cordell Cook. But as a matter of fact, I congratulate his father even more, Curtis Cook, because since Cordell was about 1.5 feet high, his father has been taking him to cricket, buying him all kind of gears. His father, Curtis Cook, and he believes in this youngster 100%. And I think he might even be happier with him making the Leewards on the 19 team as opposed to the Michael Louis. And one thing he's extremely proud of in the Leeward Islands on the 19 tournament we had here a few weeks ago, he had 10 overs, 5 maidens, 8 runs, 5 wickets. And although that is the performance that got him there. But, Mr. Spencer, how hard it was to pick this on the 19 team?
It was the case where I was beginning by saying that the tournament was not as strong as I thought it would have been. The quality of play was not what I really expected.
You're hearing us, Frankie?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
You were hearing Mr. Spencer just now?
No, I didn't hear what he said.
Okay, Mr. Spencer, we have Frankie. You're clear. You're hearing us, Eustace?
Yeah.
I'm hearing you, Eustace. Speak again,
And
please,
I'm hearing
Sam.
Frankie.
Testing.
Yes,
one.
we're good. Now we're hearing all. So could you start again, please? How hard was it? How difficult was it to select this on the 19 team?
It was not as difficult as it would have been if you had outstanding performances from most of the players. However, being a selector, you've got to look at what is before you, and you also have to use some strategies in terms of selection to ensure that you not only look for a team that would represent the Leewards today, but you have to look into the future development of Leewards cricket. And although the tournament was fairly weak from the standpoint of performances and the level of cricket that was played, we had to really buckle down as selectors and look in the interest of Leewards cricket and ensure that we select from the bunch of guys who had played the best team to represent the Leewards. I know that over the years there's some bickerings as to who should represent from which territories and things like that and so forth. And sometimes people would cry foul and talk about insularity and things like that. And I made a pledge when I became chairman of selectors for the Leewards that when I see a player, it is not a case of where the player is from, but what the player does on the field of play, what he also can bring to Leeward's cricket, and what we want to represent, in terms of our future development. And one may sometimes look at figures of a bowler or runs scored as a batsman, but not being in the presence of the game would not really allow them to honestly make fair judgment and fair decisions. And being a selector, and my co-selector that was with me, Mr. Shane Jeffers, we took everything into account to ensure that we bring forward the very best team in the interest of Leeward's cricket.
You may not have known of this, but there's a young lady here in St. Kitts, and I'm going to put you on this spot. And I guess I suspect that you're accustomed to that. And she was making a big issue on Facebook about wondering, and she actually asked a question directly to Mr. Spencer Samuel, chairman of selectors, and I can't remember the other name. How come her godson wasn't selected even though he got the most wickets or something like that? I think it's the young Cornwall.
I can tell you
Cornwall is in the squad.
I could tell you this. If you
Cornwall is in the squad.
No, he's not on the 19 squad. The Leeward Islands are on the 19.
Bill Cornwall.
No, he's not in the
You
squad.
let them spinner.
Yeah, he's not in this squad, Frankie.
I could tell you this. Individuals.
I thought I saw that name.
Unless there's a second list that was released, he is not on the list I have here. And what you were about to say.
And he got the most wickets by an excellent bowler.
That is what Mr. Samuel is about to explain, Frankie.
I sometimes chuckle when people look at cricket and look at figures only or runs scored by batsmen and not being present to see the actual state of play. One has to be present to see and judge what transpires. I can bowl 10 full tosses and get 5 wickets. I can bowl a spell where 5 catches have been dropped off my bowling. We have bowled excellent, good line, good length, good variation. And, these are the kind of things that do happen.
Take no wicket.
And get, wickets.
But you bowled very well.
And people have to understand that cricket is played from a technical point of view. And let's assume, if people are going to judge the case of who get the most wicket, you have to judge from the state of play who you're bowling against, and you also have to judge exactly what are the conditions of the pitches, how the bowler actually bowled, and I am wary of things like that where people would say, "Oh, this guy gets the most runs or make the most wickets or whatever," and if they do, they have to be selected. There's nothing that's named have to be selected if you are crafting a team and if you're looking to ensure that you put out the best squad. If you have 5 off spinners in a tournament and all 5 off spinners get 9 wickets each or 10 wickets each, are you going to pick the 5 off spinners? What's going to happen to when you need your medium pacers or your leg spinners or whatever, or your orthodox left armers? It's a case where you have to look carefully at what is presented before you can determine what you would select to represent you.
Thank you very much, Sam. And Frankie, your position on that, as indicated by Mr. Spencer Samuel.
I am wary of that kind of explanation. You cannot tell me that a man is going to get the most wickets and you're going to complain and talk about who he's bowling against. Well, what is the tournament for? Where he's playing, what is the tournament for? I am wary of that. I I thought I had seen a squad with Cornwall in it. I had the privilege of watching the matches in Nevis, and I watched that young man bowl. And I even said to him, I hope you are selected. Last year, he said they took a lot of wickets and he was overlooked. So I'm surprised again to hear this. I'm wary of that kind of explanation. So that is what is happening to our other Cornwall, and that is what is happening to a lot of other players within the Caribbean, whether junior, senior, or what. I am wary of such explanations.
Eustace, Sam indicated that, and I like this example. You bowl 5 full tosses, and you get 5 wickets, because we know bad balls get wickets. So I bowl 5 full tosses, and I get 5 wickets. But you having an immaculate spell, 5 catches were floored. So what Sam is saying, you as a selector looking at what is going on, and your decision is based not just on the scorebook. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, because you look at it where in many cases, yes, you can have a player who would have done very well in the game, bowl very, very well, and unfortunately you have catches being dropped, So when you look at in terms of his bowling figures, Frankie, hi.
Go ahead, Eustace.
Okay, yeah. When you look at the situation where someone would have bowled very well, and you look in the column.
Is his mic on? I'm not hearing him.
Go ahead, Eustace.
Yeah. So you have someone who would have bowled very well and done very well in the match, and at the end of it, taking a wicket because the fielders would have let him down, let the team down, and at the end of the day, you are looking at the figures at the end of the day, and the figures not really an evidence in terms of the true performance of the bowler. You can have a batsman who can make a century, and he would have made a century by maybe 5-6 chances. We know if these catches were taken, he could have probably maybe made less than 25 runs, because he could have got his first chance when he was on naught. So it's really a situation that has to be taken and looked at very carefully. And yes, Spence, you would have made some good points. Sometimes this is not a situation where, because you are selecting a team, and yes, performance matters, most, and which is very, very important, because that is how you are expected to be rewarded by your performance. And at the end of the day, it's going to be very sad if you happen to be the best bowler, taking the most wickets, or made the most runs, and you are not selected. But as the selectors, perhaps looking at the team, looking at the maybe you're going on a tour, and you are going to look at in terms of the teams that you will be playing against, the condition that you'll be playing in. And so you probably want to craft the team based on the conditions that the teams would be playing in. So it's not a broad brush situation but yes, I believe in performance, and you should be rewarded especially if you are the best in the tournament. Why not be rewarded?
Thanks a lot, Eustace. And I like the way Sam put it. Because if we look at the stats, the points table from the recent regional 4-day tournament, Joshua Bishop, 42 wickets. Jomel Warrican, 35 wickets. Ashmead Ned, 33 wickets. Raheem Cornwall, 32 wickets. In at number 5 was Sammy Pormal, 29 wickets. Jeremy Louis, number 6, 30 wickets. So does that mean then, Frankie, that West Indies should pick these 5 spinners?
No, there are others who have been tried and tested and has proven themselves. So you're not gonna just drop a seasoned player because these guys have taken wickets. And that is not the situation with the under-19s. So what the gentleman is saying about full tosses and all time, that's crap.
But I just used the example, not the example. I just indicated, and these are stats from West Indies. The top 5 bowlers in the regional 4-day competition, Frankie, were spinners. Louis is the top pace bowler. So should West Indies have picked all 5 of these spin bowlers? And
No. I said you have seasoned cricketers there who have done well over the time, and you're not gonna just pick up these guys and put them in ahead of your seasoned cricketers who are still consistently playing well.
So therefore, that
can't be foolhardy.
Let me respond to the gentleman,
with that.
Let me respond to the gentleman, please. Mister, I don't know who you are actually, but I don't know if you understand selection as clearly as you should. Listen carefully. When you are selecting a team, you have to craft that team to suit conditions in which you're going to play under. You've got to craft a team so that you have supportive players throughout the entire 14 or 15 players that you're selecting. Now, one of the things you have to look at is the role that players are going to play in the team that you select. You just don't select players from a scorebook. You don't select players from the fact that you have 8 batsmen who make runs. You have to look at what position you're going to have the batsmen bat. You're going to have to look at what role you want them to play in the team. You're going to have to look at factors where if plan 1 fail, how you would deal with plan 2, and who are the players that will play these roles. If you look over the years, for instance, Permal have taken most wickets lots of time for West Indies tournaments, but he could not get into the West Indies team simply because he do not fit into what is required at the given time. Now, if you have 2 or 3 people competing for a particular spot, you have to look at all the factors that would allow for you to determine which of those players would be best suited to advance a situation. If you look at the West Indies now the 19 tournaments, one of the factors is that you get fast bowling points. So you would craft your team in a way to have your medium pacers and your fast bowlers, as players that would be topped in your team. You also have to look at the fact that you're going to, pick your spinners, but you also have to look at the factor that you're trying to get players not only to represent the leewards, but players that can go on to represent the West Indies in the West Indies on the 19 tournaments. You have to also look at the age of the players that you are putting into the tournament. If they're going to be 20 just now, they cannot make the West Indies on the 19 team. All those are factors that you have to look at. And you have to look at the performances, yes. But you don't pick a team just on mere wicket taking or runs making. Yes, those are factors, because that's you play a tournament for that, you may say. But you can have a batsman who score 300 runs in a tournament, and he's batting at number 3 or number 4, a batsman batting at number 6 who may score 500 runs, but you may not need a number 6 batsman. You need a number 3 batsman who will be fitted to play the innings or play the part in the team that you require. And this case about looking at scorebooks, that is not always what tells the tales. You look at conditions, you look at opponents, you look at how well the person bowled or batted under certain circumstances. You determine the structure of a team based on what you want to put out there. And I am not against anyone criticizing selectors, because I do criticize the West Indies selectors when I think they do badly. So don't think I'm above criticism. But I have clear explanations for every player that is selected. When I present a team to the Leeward Island board, I present notes as to why this player was selected, what role the player will play in the team, and things like that. I just don't select a player, myself and my fellow selectors. We go through all the processes because we want the best for Leeward's cricket. And if you may follow what I am actually saying, when we select a Leeward Islands team, we don't just select a Leeward Islands team to play in the West Indies tournament for playing sake. We are looking players to get into a West Indies under 19 or West Indies senior team, if that is the case.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. And I think this is a topic we could probably go on and on all night. However, I really want us to touch a bit on the West Indies team that has been announced and perhaps squeeze in a few minutes about our impression for the World Cup and any prediction. And thank you for your question and your view, Frankie. And thank you, Sam, for your explanation. Thank you for your input, Eustace. And we know, gentlemen, can we move on, please?
Yes.
We have just about half an hour. Can we move on to the West Indies team that has been announced to travel to England? And again, for the benefit of the listeners who may have just joined us, and this was put up on the West Indies, Cricket West Indies' website today, Tuesday the 4th. West Indies Tour of England Test Squad. Craig Brathwaite, captain. Alzari Joseph, vice captain. Alec Athanaze. Joshua De Silva, the wicketkeeper. Jason Holder, question mark. I am putting a question mark on Jason Holder. We'll touch that. Kavem Hodge. Tevin Imlak, the backup keeper. Shama Joseph. Mikhail Louis. To me, this is the standout name. Mikhail Louis. Zachary McCaskey. Kirk McKenzie. Gudakesh Moti. Kemar Roach. Jaden Seals. Kevin Sinclair. Again, we say congratulations to Mikhail Louis on being the first Kittian to be selected to play for the West Indies. He's not the first Kittian to play Test match, because another Kittian would have played for England a few years ago. Mm-hmm. But congratulations, Louis, at 23, his first season, coming in with 682 runs, 4 half centuries, 3 centuries, one of 9-12 players who has made a century in each innings of the match. And we say congratulations. We have been, a lot of talk has been going around, Sam, in St. Kitts and the Nevis, particularly St. Kitts, wondering with the inclusion of Mikhail into this. And really, I think with very good cause, because over the years, we believe that some players would have picked themselves. Luther Kelly, Livington Harris, the wicketkeeper. We have Noel Gishard, Mike Slen Harris, etc., just to name a few. But they never were picked for whatever reason or reasons. And I know there was a case with Ralston Otto from Antigua. Particularly, he made 500, 600 runs, and persons thought that would have been the year for him. And that wasn't. May soul rest in peace. How difficult do you believe was it for the West Indies team, the West Indies selectors, to come up with this team?
It was not a difficult task. One would have considered that when the team was selected for Australia with 7 newcomers, you know, a lot of people had questioned that policy of going to Australia with 7 new players. And I believe that the West Indies selectors are looking now at a rebuilding process. And hence, with this team, the only disappointment that I would have had is the fact that if we had done, you know, fairly well in Australia and we decided that we're going forward with the selection of a West Indies squad to go to England, and we see it as a rebuilding process, that we should have looked at a player like Jeremiah Louis, for sure, and we would have kept Justin Graves in the squad. I do not see, and this is my personal opinion, and that's why I say selectors can be criticized, and I have no issues with that, because I do not see the sense at this point of this juncture of West Indies cricket to persist with Roach and Holder when you have in the wings a Jeremiah Louis, and you also have a Justin Graves, who we had invested in going to Australia. And if you look at the middle order, the fact that you would have had Graves in the middle order and in English conditions, he would have been able to give you some very good overs, I presume. I think that that's the only thing that I would have looked at. But then the selectors saw things differently. And I do hope, though, when the A team is selected, that Jeremiah Louis would be included. But I still, harp on the fact that I don't see us benefiting very much. And I hope they can prove us wrong or prove me wrong so that the West Indies can win the Test series. But Jason Holder and the Roach for sure would not have been included in my team. And my replacement for them, Jeremiah Louis and Justin Graves.
Just to put things in a little perspective, the 15 that went to Australia in January included Tajnarine Chandapal. He is out. He was an opener. He's out. Mikhail Louis is included for him. Justin Graves, he is out. Jaden Seal is in. Akeem Jordan, he's also out. And Jason Holder is in for him. So 3 out, 3 in. All the others remain the same. Frankie, any surprises for you?
I agree with the gentleman as to who he would have wanted. I too would have put Jeremiah Louis in. I would have asked Mr. Roach and Jason Holder to have a nice vacation and play some cricket elsewhere, as I think their time is up. Don't tell me about English conditions. He's a young man who's coming up. Who needs that exposure now? Right? And he and his brother, I was expected to see in the team. I agree with the gentleman with the replacements and with those who he would have had out. However, I hope that we just started our A-team process. Let's hope that Jeremiah gets into the A-team and not for them to be bringing back some of these test players to be playing in A-teams if you're looking at development for the future. But I do agree with the gentleman with what he said about the senior team.
I happen to be
and congratulations to the... Hello?
Go ahead, Frankie.
I was saying congratulations to Michael Louis, his parents. I think it's fraternity. It's overdue. We would have had many players, including Victor Eddy, who should have been on a West Indies team, who missed out. But let's go forward with what's going on.
Before I get you, Eustace, I happen to be smiling because remember when that squad was selected, they said they were going for youth, and they had some 34-year-old players in the squad, and one of them couldn't make it, and they went to another 34-year-old. So I thought that humorous. Jason Holder, he's out of the West Indies team, Eustace, because of a shoulder injury. I think I understand that it's his bowling arm. I don't know what the problem is. The question is, we don't know the extent of the injury, and we don't know whether or not he will be included. He will be fit enough to go. However, based on the discussion both from Frankie and Sam, were Jason Holder not to be available to go, and I understand that Jeremiah Louis is currently in Nevis. Forgive me, he's in England playing some sort of cricket. So let us assume Jason Holder were not fit when it's time to go to make the West Indies team, to make the squad to travel. Jeremiah Louis would have been the pace bowler with the most wickets. But not only that, he has been performing consistently over the years. He got 30 wickets this year. A season he got 40. As Mr. Go was on the line, and he indicated he got 40, and Berridge, the spinner, leg spinner, left arm, got 25 matches, and he didn't play all the matches. So do we think, Eustace, that if Jason were to be out, Jeremiah would be in?
Well, sure, I as I said, you know how proud I am tonight as a citizen of this proud federation. You know how proud I am? Because the best batsman in the tournament has been rewarded. And we say congratulations again for the West Indies chairman of selectors for calling it right. Spencer is right. Frankie is right. Good evening to you, Frankie. And it's nice to hear the voice and to have you a part of this very important discussion. And I want to say,
ask you to hold a second while I go to this call. Good evening, caller. Welcome to On the Ball. You're live on WINNFM 98.9.
Good evening, Mr. Troy Biff Mills.
Good evening, sir.
Wonderful program.
Thank you very much.
And to your guests them there on the program. And I want to commend Michael Louis. I believe that is a step in stone for the federation. And I mean for St. Kitts, because Nevis done had a few players on the West Indies side already, and we're proud of him, and I feel good. But let me don't do so much celebration yet. Let me just pray and wish him all the best that he could perform. And when he start to perform, you understand? Too much celebration before things happen, sometimes it causes a little damp on you.
I understand,
so
caller.
Just wish him,
I understand. Continue.
Yeah. So let me wish him all the best. And can't to the gentleman there, Mr. Claxton and the other gentleman there. I believe that Jeremiah Louis should have in the squad. I believe Jason Hall of them has done the part. And going to England, can't to Mr. Claxton, going to England under the condition as a young man, I believe that he'll do well, because English condition, is a kind of for the place bowler, the ball move in the different ways and them things. So let me just wish him all the best, and don't do so much big celebration yet until he start to perform. I mean, we can talk, but let me do rejoice. And then when you look, he but
thanks a lot.
Wish him all the best.
Thanks a lot, caller. We appreciate that. Thank you for calling. Have a good night.
You're doing a wonderful job, man. Good program. You're doing a wonderful job.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it, sir. Thank
yes,
you.
and caller, it is very, very important that when you do very well, and not only just doing very well, but you are the best in the tournament, we have reasons to celebrate, because when the selectors would have done the right thing, they are selected as selectors to make the right decision. And we have to commend the chairman of selectors for the West Indies team for calling it right, and for choosing
doing something once.
Getting it right for once.
But I also want to say, because
yes,
this is very important. Yes, Frankie, because we have been delayed over the years. There are players from St. Kitts who should have by far made the West Indies team before, but were not given the opportunity. And I really want to speak about Jeremiah Louis, because there's no way also that Jeremiah Louis should have been left out. And it's only because I'm telling you that if Jeremiah Louis was from Barbados or those bigger countries, he would have been in the team.
But give us a sec, Eustace, as we say goodnight to another caller on the line. Welcome, caller. You're on the ball.
I was saying here before, but I want to big up the young guy, Borga, from Sunny Point too. Up to them, when I was speaking, and I tell her next time I see her, I'm going to give her a change. Because we got to encourage the youth, them,
Definitely.
And only that we got to do to try to encourage the youth, them, because them is our future generation to come, and them is the one we got to follow right now, and follow like Richard and Victor Eddie and legacy. They get to make the West Indies story, but we want to see these young men do as much to go on the West Indies to represent St. Kitts, to make the parents them millionaire. Just look how the others do it in Guyana, hit and all them do it.
I just want to see our petition and division do the same too. All right, then, Charles.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you for calling back.
Yeah.
Yes, you
But
just
Troy,
were saying.
I want to make it clear tonight to our panel, to our nation, to our federation, and to the world that I am confident, with all the confidence in the world, that Louis will be the next Viv Richards from the Leeward. This guy is not only and has done well, but
Put in big shoes there, man.
yeah, this guy is a very special player, very special player. And in this his first tournament, given an opportunity at his young age at this stage, has outclassed, outplayed, and outperformed every single batsman in the tournament. And we are very proud of him.
Eustace, give us a second as we go to the line again. Good evening, caller. Welcome to On the Ball. You're live.
Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening, gentlemen. I could not allow this moment to pass. I have to give my congratulations to Mikhail. Calvin James here, by the way.
Hi, good evening.
I thought this is a real time to celebrate. Now it's just been official. We're now looking forward for Jeremiah to join his brother. I believe Mikhail was long time in coming. His little brother had a lot of setbacks. I was with them from the tender ages. And now that the fruits are bearing, I just want to congratulate him. I want to wish him all the best. They're well behaved. They're not involved with drugs. The parents are well supported. All these background information is very important to forget. I think he'll be a good icon to our youngsters. And I want to wish him the very best. And I believe he'll be enlarged to see the first ball both again. So I wanted to really extend best wishes to him and particularly his family, which is very close. And to wish Mikhail God's blessings, God's wishes, God's strength, guidance, and wisdom. And always be humble. You know? Patience to believe in God to come to despite the challenges that he has. That's behind him now. So we're all on board. Everybody's on board. You know, and I just want to express it. I'm really delighted and elated about it.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you for calling. Have a good night.
And thanks so much, Calvin, for your contribution. And as I continue, because it is very, very important, where you look at the situation, I can tell you that no bowler in the Caribbean is in the kind of form that Jeremiah Louis is in right now. He has dominated the tournament. As you rightfully mentioned, the best fast bowler, not only in terms of wickets, not only in terms of performance. There's no bowler in the West Indies that swing the ball just like what Jeremiah Louis can do. Roach is going to England because of what? What reason? Because he has been around for many years, because as some people say in his English condition. But I can tell you, whatever Roach can do, Jeremiah Louis can do it better. Jeremiah Louis is a better bowler, is a better fielder, is a better batsman.
And speaking about batsman, I think he had 2 or 3 40s. Probably should have turned them into 50s, but at least 2 or 3 40s for pace bowler. That is good. And remember, he was in the top 6 bowlers in the competition. The leading fast bowler, but he could have been number 10 or 11, 12, but he's in the top 6 bowlers in the competition.
Right. And as the best as a fast bowler. And as Spencer would have discussed and mentioned, which is very important, you look at the kind of most of his wickets, he crumbled. I'm telling you, he demoralized most of the batting lineup. He takes wicket from the beginning at the top because of what he's doing with the ball. He has been excellent, and there's no reason he is in England right now which he's supposed to be. But he's not supposed to be in England just playing cricket. He was supposed to also be announced to be part of the celebration which we are having tonight, today, and we will have in the future. I expect him to replace Holder, because I want to know what reason the overrated Holder, who continue to be a very big disappointment in West Indies cricket. Yes, as a former captain, yes, he would have had some performances, but he is over the hill. He is finished. He is washed up. And Jeremiah Louis.
What do you mean he's washed up when he just said he has a renewed birth, a renewed energy for cricket?
Yes, talking. But you're not going to be picked and selected and rewarded by talking.
I'd just like to add something to what the good gentleman just said here. And it all goes back to selection. I've watched Jeremiah over the years. And he got 40 wickets some season ago. Yeah. But as I spoke earlier on and talk about the amount of wicket taken by a bowler, doesn't necessitate or doesn't take you to the point where you are the best at the given point. This year, having taken 29 or 30 wickets, I had the opportunity of watching him throughout the season. And I can tell you for a fact, he was the best new ball bowler in the West Indies series of matches that were played this year.
Yeah.
He definitely did craft his bowling in such a way that he was able to remove the early batsmen throughout the tournament. It's only one particular match that he did not get wickets early in the tournament. But
that's the game we lost.
Right, yes.
Yeah.
And to add to that, the fact is, if you are looking to rebuild, as I said, and you have a talented player such as this young man, honestly, you know, he should be there. Because we're going to look at the age of Roach. We look at the age of Holder, who's about 4 years older than him, you know. And it leads me back to what we look at as selectors, or what I think we should look at, you know. And even if, for heaven's sake, you know, I should not really say certain things given my position. But, you know, even if Anderson Phillip was selected ahead of Holder or Roach or ahead of Louis, I would have maybe take that with a grain of salt. But for sure,
when you look at it,
none of these two gentlemen, in my mind, should have been selected above.
But Spencer and Choi, the West Indies selectors decided to reward and to continue with the players who went to Australia. And because they won that very important test match, because many and most of the players came back into our tournament and didn't hardly anything. Look at Mackenzie. He scored only one half century. Look at Atenes, who is one of the promising, talented...
Gentlemen, could you I welcome this caller from overseas. It's an overseas call. Good night, caller. Welcome to On The Ball. You're live.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here on The Ball Live. I'd like to compliment your guest there who's making a good contribution.
Thank you very much.
I disagree with Yusuf by saying that he congratulates his chief selector.
Yes, we are listening, Eustace. We are listening, Eustace.
Yes,
Eustace, you're hearing us?
Hey.
You're hearing
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Yes, continue. We're hearing you.
Yeah.
We are hearing you, Eustace. Continue.
Yeah. Eustace, I disagree with you by complimenting a chief selector to do his job. His job is to select the right people. And Hello?
Hi.
Yeah.
We are hearing you, Eustace. Go ahead.
Yeah, continue. We're hearing you.
Yes, sir. I disagree with Eustace.
I am back.
Yes, Eustace, we are hearing you. Continue, please, Eustace.
Yes, and I Jeremiah Lewis just like how they say that Paul and the other guy accustomed to the English condition. Other people say the opportunity based on the performance. You know, but I wish the team all the best.
And hi, caller, you can hear me? Caller? Yeah, we seem to...
Yeah, we seem to have some
back.
Yeah, Frankie, we seem to have some technical difficulty with Eustace.
But
he's calling from overseas.
Yes.
Yeah, my namesake,
seems so, yes.
which we commend him for taking the time out to be part of this very important discussion.
Yeah, could you hear Eustace? Go ahead.
You can hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, Eustace. I could hear you.
Yeah, I just want to say that I congratulate the chairman of selectors for doing the right thing by selecting Kai Louis. But I am disappointed in him not also selecting what also was supposed to be the best fast bowler in the tournament.
Yeah,
so that part.
I disagree with you.
What? Beg pardon?
What you said, Eustace?
But I am disappointed.
Could you turn down your computer in the back there, please, Eustace?
What also? Caller, well, I think we'll probably continue another time because I don't know for what reason the lines and so. We thank you for your contribution and
go ahead, Eustace.
Yeah. So I'm very, very.
Hello.
Yes, that's Frankie. You're back, Frankie? We
Yes,
apologize for those issues we're having. But the question, sorry, Eustace, but the question, what if Jeremiah Louis were to get 2 or 3 or 4, 5 wicket hauls while he is in England right now? Would that have any impact on this West Indies squad in the first instance? 2, how does that help his case if Jason Holder were not to be fit to travel to England?
Well, I can tell you, if Holder is not available, I expect Jeremiah Louis to be the automatic replacement for Jason Holder, which it should have been the other way around. Because as I said, Jeremiah Louis is and was the best fast bowler in the tournament. He's the best fast bowler right now in the West Indies. What Jeremiah he does with the ball. This guy also is a special bowler, is a special player, and he's very in form. And because he swing the ball, and look at the condition that the West Indies team would be playing in. This guy was the most suited player and ideal to be a part of the team.
Gentlemen, our time is expiring, and we appreciate that. Is there any burning issue with this before we move on and spend 2 minutes on the World Cup? Any burning issue on the Louis situation?
Well, not a burning issue as far as it goes, but I too would like to extend, congratulations to Michael Louis. I must say that myself and you sure had some discussions when I told you I spoke to him very early in the season, concerning, and that was in the practice session before we played our first match, when I spotted some situations with his batting, and I went over to him and I spoke to him about it, and he was very receptive, and that is one thing I like about the young man. He was honest about himself. He knew what he wanted to do with his cricket, and as a Leeward Islander, as a chairman of selectors, I'm extremely proud. And as I said to you, Troy, I feel like it's myself who is now selected for the West Indies. That's how proud I am to know that a player that was selected for the Leewards is representing the West Indies team.
Okay, then. Yes, any final comments on Louis, Eustace, and Frankie before we move quickly to the World Cup and spend just about 2-3 minutes?
Well,
nothing much more to expect that Louis, if he keeps his form up there, let's hope in God's presence that somebody is not available and he's drafted in. That's all I'm saying, but congratulations again to the other one.
Thank you, Frankie.
Divine intervention will take place.
Thank you. Quickly, Eustace.
Well, I just want to say that I have come here many times discussing and asking the chairman of selectors to do the right thing. And as I said, that I am happy that he has decided to call it right, because he has been given a job to do the right thing. And it is always the right time to do the right thing. It's never the right time to do the wrong thing. So I am just happy and proud that he would have done what is important. The Lowy brothers are as good as any, and they are definitely better than many. And I am so sorry that we don't have enough time, because there's a lot more that I wanted to say. But we will continue another time. All what I have to say, that I am extremely proud as a citizen of this country, knowing the quality that these guys have and have done and are capable of doing, and we expect a very big performance from Kyle in England, and we wish him all the very best. His parents, who deserve all the commendation, we cannot, I am telling you, we cannot say even enough based on their leadership and their support. But as we get into
quickly before we get there, just a reminder: Group A, India, Pakistan, Ireland, Canada, United States. Group B, England, Australia, Namibia, Scotland, Oman. Group C, New Zealand, West Indies, Afghanistan, Papua New Guinea, Uganda. Group D, South Africa, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Netherlands, Nepal. We have had some 7 matches so far. The first match, the opening match, Canada went down to the United States by 7 wickets.
That was a shocker.
Yes, Canada 194 for 5, which is a big score. USA 197 for 3. Jones really turned it on. And this is the 5th highest score in T20 that was chased down, that has been chased down by any team. In the second game, West Indies versus Papua New Guinea, West Indies won by 5 wickets. If we spend 30 seconds on this, Papua New Guinea 136 for 8. West Indies 137 for 5. Did we do ourselves justice here in this game, Frankie?
I don't know when we are going to do ourselves justice. We have to consider ourselves lucky. I'm saying this because we have been so inconsistent over the time. I don't expect anything different. We don't play consistent cricket. We blow one horn, and now we find ourselves in a puddle to rectify ourselves, like shaking yourself out of a mud. We did not prepare ourselves for that, and more of those matches are going to come. West Indies will have to pull their socks up. I am not looking for them to go any further, to tell you the truth, and I say that without any water in my mouth.
Eustace, thank you, Frankie. Eustace, we just took care of business against Australia to come up against Papua New Guinea. And at one point, persons would have been wondering, are we going to win? Are we not going to win? Well, what are your thoughts quickly?
Well, the West Indies just continue to show that they are consistent in being inconsistent.
And there was a good There was a good 42, I think it was, from Chase, not out.
Yeah, he would have played a very, very important hand.
Lucky Chase, as usual.
34 from Brandon King. What about you, Sam?
West Indies did not play the cricket I expected
Brandon King was playing a woodcutter.
play.
You see, this is the thing. These guys go away from their natural game. And that is why people like Charles, I wouldn't have had him in my team anyhow. But Brandon King, if he doesn't bat his way as a batsman, he's going to be in a big dilemma.
Thank you, Frankie. You're saying, Sam.
West Indies did not play the brand of cricket I expected them to play. They were quite timid in their approach. And we just have to look at the fact that cricket is played on the day. And irrespective of who you're playing against, you have to go out there with solid, firm strategies and able to at least ensure that you give the best of your performance on that particular day. I think we planned poorly. If you looked at how we had structured our bowling attack, definitely, I did not think that we were really at the top of our game. However, I am not going to lose heart. I know that we do not have the best team in the World Cup, but I expect us to give our best in terms of performances.
Thank you. Namibia versus Oman going into the Super Over. Namibia won. So Sri Lanka, South Africa. Humiliating Sri Lanka did South Africa. Sri Lanka 77 all out. South Africa knocking it off 80-4. And Afghanistan versus Uganda. Really taking Uganda to the sword. Afghanistan won 83-5. And I thought the two openers were going to make centuries. Uganda 58. In terms of today's matches, England versus Scotland. Scotland looking really good. 90 without loss after 10 overs. That match was rained out. And in the other game, that was where are we now? Today is the 4th. Nepal versus the Netherlands. The Netherlands took care of business. Nepal 106, Netherlands 109-4. The game's coming up tomorrow. India versus Ireland, Australia, that's at 10:30. Australia versus Oman at 8:30 p.m. Papua New Guinea versus Uganda, that should be a good match at 7:30 p.m. On June the 6th, Thursday, United States, Pakistan, Namibia, Scotland. The West Indies will play next on, we have a little time off. We're playing on Saturday against Uganda. And who do we see coming out of the two groups quickly, gentlemen? We have to wrap up now. Who do we see? Group A, India, Pakistan, Ireland, Canada, United States. Who do you see coming out, Sam?
India, Pakistan.
I think we need to keep our eyes on United States. Group B, Eustace, England, Australia, Namibia, Scotland, Oman. Who do you think coming out of the zone? England, Australia, Namibia, Scotland, Oman.
Well, Australia and somebody else.
England. Frankie, Group C, New Zealand, West Indies, Afghanistan, Papua New Guinea, Uganda.
New Zealand and Afghanistan.
That's not a far better, gentlemen. Of course, I'm backing West Indies to the bone, but we got to keep our eyes on Afghanistan. I said it another way, Afghanistan and some other team, because Afghanistan, the way they played. Group D, South Africa, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Netherlands, Nepal. I initially thought before the tournament, I know Sri Lanka has been shaky, South Africa, Sri Lanka, but I'm thinking now South Africa and perhaps Bangladesh. And
Yes.
I think that is how it'll work out. South Africa and perhaps Bangladesh will come out of the zone. Gentlemen, I thank you very much for being on the program with us. On the ball is the first time for you, Frankie. I thank you for making yourself available, and you will be with us.
It's a pleasure.
And you have 5 seconds. Anything final?
And well, I hope everything goes well, and that you would perhaps one of these days have me again. I
definitely
took the privilege. It's a privilege I took because it's my wife's birthday, and I'm spending it with her. So knowing I love the cricket, I did ask her permission because I believe in doing that. So you are a lucky man this time around.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thanks a lot. Eustace, 5 seconds.
Well, what I can say, tonight we had fun, and it's a sorry that we have to run. But all what I can say that if we don't leave, we just can't come back. Congratulations to Michael, and I am looking forward for great things from him. Congratulations, congratulations, congratulations.
Sam, 5 seconds.
Leeward's cricket is moving forward. We're getting more and more players into the West Indies team, and this is what we strive for. Getting players into the West Indies team, developing our players in the Leewards. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sam. Thank you very much, Eustace. Thank you, Frankie. I thought we had a very lively discussion. Thank you to the callers who called in. And join us again next week, Tuesday, same time, 7 to 9. And we're going to be back with On the Ball. As I slip away, thank you to Eustace. He's been listening every week and calling in from the Eustace and from the US. We really appreciate it. As I slip away, have a good night, be safe, and always remember to always be positive in your thoughts, in your words, and in your actions. Thanks for listening.